Team of Fluent Artists, we are live. Come in, type your name and where you're from in the chat so I know you can hear me. And we're going to get right into it, man. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I know you're here because you want to sell art. And so I want to jump right into showing you how you can sell your art online, all right? Team of Fluent Artists, all right, we are rocking and rolling. All right, so if you're here and you want to sell your art online, man, like Tierra sold this Galactic Jelly piece for $2K, type yes in the chat. Jasmine said prints are the gifts that keep on giving. We're going to talk about how she sold over $15,800 in 20 days. Type yes in the chat if that's something you want to experience. Man, she also had a goal to sell $5,000 in a month. She sold that in the first week. Shout out to Miss Joe with that cash on the table. I see the yeses coming through. What's up, Jason Renee? Man, Tierra, she taught her sons how to sell art. You see King Art got that cash on the table. So if you want to sell your art for $2K or more, like my man John Tay here, you are in the right place. There go another sale by Jasmine. My guy Joe Woods, $1 piece right here. All right, we're going to get started right on time. I want to let artists come in and fill the room in. There go Miss Joe, Tasha with a $1,200 sale. Type yes in the chat, man, if you're ready to start selling art online and getting 10 or more new collectors every single month, like my guy Z right there, Diana. If these artists can sell art, you can absolutely do it as well, okay? So I want to make sure that you know that you are in the right place and you can start selling your art online. It don't matter if you just be getting started or what the situation is, all right? So now, first, type yes in the chat if you want to get 37 or more new collectors in the first 72 hours, like Miss Anitra did right here. And I want to read this a little bit for you. She says, Sharess, I truly apologize. And normally I wouldn't send a message this late, but I couldn't hold back the excitement. 19 total collector opportunities and 2 scheduled collector calls. Type yes in the chat if you would like to get that. She sent me this message last night. So this just happened. It's fresh, okay? And then this morning, less than 24 hours later, she sent me another text. She said, by the way, your girl is up to 37 leads, 3 collector appointments, and a lot of great comments about what inspired them to get the download. Man, type yes in the chat. This is something you like to accomplish. I see the yeses coming through. All right. I got y'all yeses up on my side. All right. And then let me know also, yes or no. Type yes or no in the comments if you think you need a big social media following to sell your art online. Just put yes or no in the comments if you think you need a big social following. All right. And so while I'm waiting on the yeses and nos, I see some coming through. All right. So that answer is no. If you don't have any followers on social media, I see Jason saying no. You can start selling art right now, okay? And then question number 2, yes, no in the chat if you think you need a body of work created before you sell your art, all right? If you think you need a bunch of work created before you can start making money, just type yes and no in the chat, all right? All right, and that is a no as well. We're going to show you how to pre-sell your art on this live presentation, even if your art isn't finished. I see the no's coming through. All right, and then one more, yes or no if you think a brand new artist can get collectors online if they just getting started. I see some no's and yeses coming through. Yes or no if you think a brand new artist can get started selling art online if they just getting started, all right? And that answer is yes, you can, all right? We have artists doing it all the time. And so just like Jasmine, man, I want to share a little bit of her testimony of Fluent Artist Jasmine. She said, let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artist January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200. And my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. This month, if I made no more money for the next 10 days, I would have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible for me. She said, thank you, Sharess, for giving us the tool to make this passion into a business and for investing your time into my life. Thank you to the other Fluent artists. It's a community that fuels the fire, all right? Type yes in the chat if you'd like to make over $15,000 in 20 days, all right? Not even the full 30 days in a month. I should see some yeses coming through, all right? So if you're here, that's my goal. My goal is to help you become an affluent artist, okay? And so we want to help 2 types of artists on this presentation. If you are a new artist, you'll get a step-by-step blueprint on how to create art that sells itself on Instagram so you can become an affluent artist that collectors love to buy and tell everyone about. If you are a master among us, you'll get the affluent artist secrets on how to smoothly transition to selling your art online at higher prices, keep more of your money, and get the worldwide recognition and status you deserve from the art industry. All right. And then every affluent artist gets access to the new artwork app that makes it simple to sell your art and keep collectors buying over and over again. And so this new opportunity is the key to your desire to consistently sell art online. And it's only achievable by becoming an affluent artist. All right. So type yes in the chat. If I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art, will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? All right. Just type yes in the chat. I see some yeses coming through. All right. So my name is Sharess. All right. And like many of you, I'm sure, man, I've been an artist my entire life. So the picture at the top left, that's young Sharess right there. Man, when I was a kid, I used to love drawing all of the cartoons, all the characters on the cereal boxes. Man, like the Ninja Turtles were some of my favorite characters to draw. And then the picture at the bottom left, that is a self-portrait I drew for my son and I for his first birthday. All right. I love drawing portraits. And I'm also a hooper. I played basketball. I played Division I college basketball. Man, I absolutely love basketball. And I know that's where my love for helping others and getting assists comes from as well. All right. Now, while I was in college, listen, I didn't have any collectors, sales skills, you can forget about it. And then I had a tragedy, man. My house burned down. My family and we lost everything. And I lost all of my art. And I was really depressed after that. And so I ended up becoming a starving artist dropout in 2007. And as you can imagine, man, my confidence was really low. It was still really hard to sell art and break into the art industry. So I became obsessed with mastering business online. Like I really wanted to figure out how to sell my art in the digital age. And this is way back in 2007. And so I knew the first thing I needed was a mentor, right? So I can get somebody to show me exactly what to do. So I didn't make any mistakes. And so I ended up reaching out to 19 millionaires. And this guy right here, Mike Cannings, he was the first person to respond. And he ended up hiring me and he put me on his team. And we ended up working on a campaign and we did a product launch and he made $1,800,000 in 7 days. All right. And so we did almost $2 million in 7 days. And he taught me a lot about selling products and services online. And I ended up writing a book about it titled How to Create Lifetime Customers. So I became a #1 best-selling business author, teaching people how to sell their products and services. And I've spoken to people all over the world to show them how to make more money online. And I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Beatty launch some of her products. And I've helped a lot of creators just like you make money. Now, even with all of this success consulting, I still had dreams of being a full-time artist. Type me in the chat if you're working a job right now, but you still have dreams of being a full-time artist. All right. Now, then I had an epiphany one day. I was like, you know what? A lot of artists, they have that feast of famine income where you're making money some months and you're not making money some other months, or just dip for long stretches during the year. And I was like, man, that only really means that you don't have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales. And then I was like, what would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to find art? I see some me's coming through. And so I had a crazy plan. I said, I'm going to host my very first art event and I want to sell out the show. All right. And so we did just that, man. That's me standing with one of the collectors right there. We had a bunch of amazing collectors in the room filled with beautiful people they were buying art. All right. And so type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for $2,000 or more at your first or next event. All right. Type yes in the chat. And so here's affluent artist, Melissa Mitchell. She's one of my friends that was at that event and she sold out all of her pieces. Okay. And so she said, this dope art investors event by Sharess May, all of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value. So we're going to show you what she did to sell out all of her pieces, all right, in this live presentation. I see the yeses coming through. Now, while we were at this event having a great time selling art, I realized that we had some very real problems, okay? First of all, doing it the old way, it cost me over $5,000 up front of my own money just to put on an art event. And I knew a lot of artists didn't just have $5K laying around to do a live event, right? And then we were selling art, but we were using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Square, really anything we can get our hands on. And this left all of our sales disorganized. Everything was really hard to track. And the biggest issue is we couldn't easily follow up with the collectors that have just spent thousands of dollars with us, all right? And so imagine if you get a collector to buy some art for $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more, and if they send it via Zelle, Venmo, Square, man, oftentimes you don't get their email address. You definitely don't get their physical address to their business or their home. But then you also don't get the credit card so you can follow up and make a sale easily, right? So I was like, man, we got to solve this problem, okay? And so I really couldn't find a solution. So I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell your art on and offline. Because as an affluent artist, you need one simple system that accepts payments up to $1 shy of $1 million. All right. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You should be able to track your artwork, your sales, and your collectors' information in one place. And we want to make it simple for collectors to buy with one click, like we buy stuff on Amazon. And ideally, collectors can track their net worth in your art so they can see when you're increasing your value. And we want to bring interested collectors to you on autopilot, okay? And so back to that first art show. So I didn't reach my goal of selling 100% of the art. We didn't get everything sold, but I did sell 2/3 of the art. Most importantly, every artist made money, and we had sales of $500, $1,500, and one artwork sold for $2,000, okay? And so we took this show on the road, man. Artists started asking us to consult and help them sell their art. And so this is me and some of my friends down in Miami at Art Basel. We went down there and we started helping some artists sell more art at their Art Basel events, all right? And so we having a lot of success helping artists sell stuff offline. And so I was like, man, what would happen if we started using this stuff to help artists sell art online, okay? And so I put together a small group of artists, and Miss Chris, she was one of the first artists that was in that initial group of affluent artists. And when she came to me, she was like, Sherez, I got a small email list of only 32 collectors, all right? Put yes in the chat if you got an email list right now. I said, I only got 32 collectors. And so we sent out an email campaign anyway. And listen, y'all, she sent out one email and she got 13 art sales from that small list of 32 collectors. And she made $585. All right, type yes in the chat if you like to send one email to your list and sell some art and make some money. All right, I should see some yeses coming through for sure, okay? And then Santana, she got a $360 sale right here. My guy Dwayne, he kept using the process to sell his art. He got another one, he said, okay? And so listen, artists, if you struggle to sell your art, it is not your fault. Listen, I'm an artist as well, and I went to the College of Art and Design up in Chicago. And while I had some incredible art teachers, I was really inspired by my classmates. They did not tell us how to sell our art and really get collectors and make money with the craft, okay? And so if you haven't been able to sell, it's not your fault because they really aren't teaching us how to do this. And so after we started getting collectors online, I was like, man, let's start getting collectors 24/7 on autopilot. I like automation, okay? Now, we started working on this, but the solution was really hard and expensive to create. I ended up blowing over $30,000 in a year hiring 2 dev teams to create artwork, and they didn't even finish the app, okay? And so I invested every penny to my name, and I really thought about giving up, but I don't really know how to quit. And also, I knew going back to the old way wouldn't work for me because I had just did that art show. And so I was like, man, let me try it again, all right? So I found a 3rd dev team, and I tried one more time. And y'all, listen, the new artwork app and the automated collector system that I created, it started working so well, many artists were selling art within 7 days. And so here's a fluent artist, Kira. She was one of the youngest artists at the time. She had just graduated high school. She was 18, and she got a sale in the first 19 hours, y'all. All right, y'all show Kira some love in the chat. She's the youngest, and she holds the record for the fastest piece of art sold. And then here's my guy, Z. He said, team, I haven't had a chance to report on my record-breaking success this past week. He ended up selling, getting deposits for 8 commissions. He sold 7 prints, and he collected over $1,800 in sales. Type yes in the chat if you want to have your record-breaking successful sales week like my guy Z right here, okay? I see you, Valencia Art, with the yes. And then affluent artist Jen, man, she's one of my favorite stories because she was a single mother of 4 kids. She sold a piece in a little over 24 hours. She said it took a little longer than 24 hours, but I had my first sale. It's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up, all right? And everybody put fast action in the chat. Everybody put fast action in the chat because Jen always takes action and she continues to invest into her art career. She actually went to Art Basel and she sold this piece for $5,840 to these collectors at Art Basel, all right? Type yes in the chat if you want to sell art at Art Basel. And if you haven't gone to Art Basel, man, you got to go. It is an incredible time, all right? And then again, fast action. So Jen, she continued to invest into herself. And the next thing I know, she got invited to Sotheby's to attend the Art Business Institute of Art over in London. Man, type yes in the chat if you like to go visit Sotheby's and Christie's over in London to learn how the 2 biggest art businesses in the world sell art at auction. All right, they're making billions of dollars a year selling art. And Jen, she's a member of our community. You'll get to meet her as well. But I'm so proud of Jen. Okay, I see the yeses coming through. And so after creating artwork and helping all kinds of artists around the world transform into affluent artists, I realized we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us or wait on word of mouth to sell art or already have a big following on social media. That old way of being a starving artist was dead. All right, we're done being a starving artist, man. If you is experiencing that in any capacity, man, it is a choice now because we got the solution. And so if you want to be a full-time successful artist, this is your golden ticket. All right. So make sure you get your pen and pad. Said need that. Yes, let's rock and roll. We are about to show you how to start selling your art online and attracting 10 or more collectors with ease. Okay. Now, in order to do this, though, I need something for you, and that's belief. Everybody type belief in the chat, because I will give you the solutions to become a full-time affluent artist, but you have to believe that you can do it and put it into action. Okay. Because listen, nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to the same starving artist problem. Or if you are an artist that's making sales, but you're not making it as consistently as you want to, okay? And so if you want to start setting sales goals and exceeding those sales goals like Brisha Jones, put me in the chat. She said, okay, so for the first quarter of this year, I set a goal to make $12,000. As of today, I'm super happy to have hit 13K instead. Keep going. Motivation of affluent artists. I see the belief coming through. All right. Now, because of the success that we were having helping artists sell art, man, the senators from the government of Barbados, they actually flew me in to help artists in that country access a global marketplace of collectors. Okay. And so when the pandemic was around us, tourism dried up. And so people stopped coming to buy art. All right. And so they needed a solution. And so, man, if you want to access a global marketplace of collectors, you are in the right place. Okay. And then also, man, we are really tapped in with collectors that love investing in art because they value the art that you create. And so I was actually invited to speak at BlackRock on art investing. And BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with over $10 trillion in assets, okay? So type yes in the chat, man, if you want to get access to collectors that look at your art as an investment. I want to see some yeses coming through, all right? Now, after over 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, I want you to type yes in the chat if it's your turn to get new collectors to sell your art online. I want to see some yeses coming through. Man, let's rock and roll, man. This is a fun presentation. We are live. You got a question, type it in the chat. But most important, make sure you're taking notes because we're going to show you how to start selling your art consistently, all right? Because once you discover these 3 secrets, you will have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art. I see the yeses flying through. And so Brisha, using these secrets I'm about to share with you, she got a $5,008 sale from a new collector. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to start selling art for $5K or more. All right. And Brisha, man, she loves putting like these odd numbers on the end. She won't sell a piece for $5,000. It'll be like $5,008. All right. I love it because it all add up. I see the yeses coming through. So let's get into secret number 1. These are the 3 secrets to selling your art online. Secret number 1, how to make your artwork speak for itself and sell for $2,000 or more on Instagram. Now, let me know if this sounds familiar. So I told y'all I went to Art Basel and I was talking to a lot of these so-called industry experts, right? And a lot of them were telling me, well, Sharess, you know, you dropped out of college. A lot of people don't really know you. You didn't get a degree. You haven't really been in the galleries. It's going to be difficult for you to start really selling a lot of art and selling it for a lot of money, all right? If anybody has ever tried to discourage your art dreams, just put me in the chat, okay? Because I done heard it all right? But now I'm on the other side of this, and I've started selling art and helping a lot of other artists sell art. So I want to let you know that I believe in your creative dreams, okay? If anybody's ever tried to discourage you, listen, I understand, but there is a new way, okay? And so let's play a quick little game called Could You Do It Better? I see the me with the all caps. Let's go. You feeling that one in your chest, all right? So type yes or no in the chat if you think you can do this better. Just have some fun with me. Type yes or no. There's no right or wrong answer, all right? Just type yes or no in the chat. All right. Now, this piece is titled Van Gogh, Portrait of Dr. Gachet. All right. Now, why is this piece famous, affluent artists? Why is this piece famous? It is the story, okay? And the story has to touch your collector's emotions. Now, this is how you sell your art for higher prices, because I know some of us has been taught to base our art on the time that it takes us to create it and also the size, right? But if you really think about that, it don't really make sense, okay? So first time, we know as creators, the more time you spend on your craft, the faster and more efficient you get at finishing pieces, right? And so it don't really make sense to base it on time because you could find yourself charging less than what you're really worth because you got it done quickly, right? So that don't really make sense. And then also the size. So we know art that hangs in people's home, some wall art is more expensive than a mural on the side of a building, right? So it ain't really about the size either. What I've discovered is it's about creating your very own art story, okay? And so get your pen and your pad out because we're going to show you our art story framework to selling your art, the ART story framework. Now, I discovered the art story framework at our very first live event when the fluent artist Melissa was here selling her art. All right. And I told her she sold all 3 of her pieces. And you see her art behind her. It's very professionally done. Man, she got her business cards there. She creates wearable art. And so she's like a walking billboard for her art. But the thing that really took this over the top and that had all the collectors mesmerized in the room was that she created these very powerful stories for each one of the pieces. And this is how we sold that piece for $2,000 at that very first event, okay? And so the collector who bought this piece, like he didn't have a clue who she was. Some of y'all may know Melissa, all right? She got a popping brand, man. She's done deals with Ford, Spanx, all type of conferences, the city of Atlanta, but he didn't know none of that. And so I was like, man, what made you invest over $2,000 in in an artist that you don't know anything about? And he simply said, Sherez, the art is great, but it was the story that really got me, okay? And so if you're experiencing a problem where you posting your art and you're not getting any sales, right? Whether you're getting a little bit of engagement or you're getting a lot of engagement in comments and everybody is ooh and ahhing about your art, but they're not buying it, just add your art story, okay? Jasmine, she was still working on this Chadwick Boseman piece, and she says, sold. I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work, all right? So if you want to start pre-selling your art in advance, type pre-order in the chat, okay? If you want to still be working on originals and you know that you can pre-sell it like Jasmine, man, put pre-order in the chat. It's dope when you start pre-selling art in advance because you can get that cash and you can buy your supplies and take a profit at the same time, okay? Put pre-order in the chat. And so if you're ready to sell your first and next piece like Miss Raquel Miller here, type yes in the chat because I know we got some artists that are just getting in the game and they just start making sales, all right? If you're an artist, you already selling for $5,000, $10,000 or more, all right? That's great. We congratulate you, but some artists are just getting started. I see the pre-order, okay? And so I want to share this story with Bresha Jones and show you how she used her art story. She was speechless at the power of her art story, okay? So she said this piece sold $6,200 size, 60 by 48. She said, I'm really still speechless, but this is significant for a lot of reasons. One, this is the biggest and highest art piece that I have ever sold. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell your art for over $6,200 like Bresha, okay? And she used the art story for this piece, Fearless Expanded. It's a beautiful abstract piece. And so I want to read a bit what the collector said about what inspired them to buy the art, all right? So she said, my husband and I had a hard week and an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place, fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness, okay? Type yes in the chat if y'all see how the art story for Fearless Expanded connected with what the collectors were going through, okay? Just type yes in the chat if you see that, because that's what will make a collector buy your art at any price. Type yes if you see the power of your art story and it touching the collector's emotion and makes them want to buy your art at any price, all right? And so let's get into breaking down how you can create this art story. All right, get your pen and your pad out. And a pro tip, if you think you need help with creating your stories, man, you can use AI and ChatGPT to help you do the stories, okay? That's a powerful way to leverage AI. We love using AI to give us leverage, okay? So the A equals the art star. Who's the art star in your art story? So every story has to have a star, okay? Think about who's the star of your story, and this works for abstract art as well. R equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story? What do they want to do? What are they trying to accomplish? Do they have any conflict? Just think about their role, okay? And then T equals the twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story? And so if you like a good movie like I do, man, you know good movies that have you sitting on the edge of your seat with the twists and turns, okay? And so you can do that same thing with your visual art, all right? The same concept applies. It's all art, all right? And so let's go back to this Van Gogh piece, and I'm going to show you how they use the art story to sell this for an astronomical price, all right? And so We come back, make sure we still sharing our screen. All right. Here we go. So Van Gogh, the art star is Dr. Gachet, okay? That's Dr. Gachet. What's his role? He is Van Gogh's doctor. All right, that's simple enough. But then a fluent artist, what is the twist? The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh, okay? And so the results, man, this piece became so sensationalized. People were talking about it, trying to figure out, man, did Van Gogh paint his last piece of his killer? Like, you know how people nosy, man. Ended up selling for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's based on the story and the mystery around Van Gogh's potential murder, okay? All about the story. Now, I want to have a little fun here. I know we got a bunch of different artists in the room. We got some artists that are just getting started and you haven't sold art before. We got some artists that are merging and we got some old pros that are selling a lot of art. But I want to have a little fun, all right? If you want to sell art for $100, cool, $1,000, cool, $10,000, $100,000 or more, all of that stuff is great. But if you want to make millions with your art like Sherez, put $82.5 million in the chat, all right? You can put the money bag emoji. You can put the smiley with the money tongue. Just let me know that you want to make some millions. Put that in the chat for me, man, because if other artists can sell art for millions, listen, success leaves clues and we can sell art for millions as well, okay? And so I just showed you how becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself for higher prices. Type yes in the chat if you can see how your art story helps you sell more art. I see the 82.5 M's. Let's go, Jason. All right, type yes in the chat if you can see how your art story helps you sell more art. Renee, with all the dollar signs, she got 882.5 million. Let's go, Renee. There we go. She getting close to the Billy. Love to see it. All right, type yes in the chat if you can see the power of that art story, okay? And so this works for you or if you are a painter, a sculptor, if you do acrylic pours, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all prices, all right? And so again, I showed you affluent artist Melissa using the power of her art story. She sold 100% of her available artworks at our very first event. That was all based on the power of using her story, okay? Make sure y'all take this note, all right? So let's get into it, man. Let's get into secret number 2. These are the 3 secrets to sell your art online. Secret number 2, how to sell art to collectors that buy with one click on a new, easy-to-use app, all right? Now, I got to tell y'all this quick story because this piece represents something that I just could not believe happened, okay? So I ended up running into one of my old classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show, all right? And so I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector as well. I love buying art and investing into my local art community, all right? And so I went to my guy's show. Man, I saw this piece and I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, I love the hair. I love the pastel colors around it. I like the profile, the earrings, the expression. Like, I just thought it was a really dope piece. And so when I saw him, like, I stepped to him, I'm literally trying to press my business credit card in his chest. And I'm like, man, I want to buy this piece. And you know what he told me? He said, Sherez, I can't take your money. People usually cash at me. And my mouth hit the floor because he had just turned down my money, all right? If you ever turned down some money before, put a 1 in the chat if you ever turned down some sales, okay? Because listen, if you turning down money, this is the old, slow, hard, and expensive way to sell art. And if you turn down money, it is absolutely expensive because you're losing money. And so first of all, before we go even further, everybody put rule number 1, get paid in the chat. Everybody put get paid in the chat. You got to get paid and get your money. You cannot be turning down money because you're not prepared to accept the payment, all right? So everybody put get paid in the chat. We got to get these coins, okay? And so if you can't take payments in 2026, we're going to show you how to step your game up, all right? And we all family here, so ain't no need to be ashamed. I see a couple of ones coming through, okay? If you're still using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, right? These tools are cool to get paid and to get in the game, but some collectors don't want to send you a $10,000 Zelle payment or Cash App or Venmo. Why? They don't get a receipt, right? They don't get any kind of documentation on the art. If you don't deliver the art or something happened to us in transit, they can't be made whole from that. And so these tools are cool to get started and get in the game, but they will hold you back at certain price points, okay? And then if you're still selling online and you dropping your photos or your art and saying stuff like email or DM me for price, put guilty in the chat, all right? Just put guilty in the chat. And so I know a lot of us are guilty of this. I've done it. I've seen it done. I still see it done. Just put guilty in the chat. It's a family affair here. There ain't no shame, okay? And then if you're still taking orders on paper in 2026, I ain't gonna get you to tell on yourself, but you got to step your game up, all right? And then if you are applying and paying for shows, first, if it's helping you make money, keep doing that if that's working for you, okay? Please keep doing it if it's helping you make money. But I know the dirty side of it, some artists, man, they rent out vans, they rent out trucks, they take all their art to a show, don't sell anything, you got to take it all back, right? And so if you've been doing that, you haven't been making money, we're going to show you a solution to get around that as well, okay? And then if you got a lot of your art on different marketplaces, or you got a website that's not really getting any sales or is not getting the sales that you want, we're going to show you how to solve that as well, all right? So that's why we created Artwork, which is a simple app that allows you to sell your art to collectors all over the world, and they can buy your art with one click, all right? And so, man, I'm blown away at how fast artists are using Artwork to sell art. So Tierra said, I just uploaded some of my original art on the app a couple of days ago, and about 30 minutes ago, I got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night, all right? And so I'm going to show you a quick Artwork demo account. We're going to show you how easy it is to sell your art, how collectors can buy with one click, and how you can track everything in your art business so you can start running it like a pro, all right?
Hey, my name is Sharess May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does two very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If say you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top, and this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business, all right? And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click add artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you'll see collectors in your dashboard. So you'll see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on their dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard, all right? And so let's say if you want to buy something, It's very simple. You can click buy now. And if we have your card on file, you can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say we want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple. All right. It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection. And it'll take you to your collection. You see we just purchased this one right here. All right. So you can see all of your active collection. And as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artist that you're purchasing artwork from. All right. So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick. And let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart and go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art and also for collectors to buy and track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right. Type yes in the chat if you love how simple and easy it is to use artwork. You can type yes. I see some of the heart emojis coming through. All right. Let me know what you think about the easy simplicity of using artwork and selling and tracking your art. Okay. And so I want to answer a couple of frequently asked questions we get. So first, artists, you can set your own price. We like to write out art stories and put that in the description so the collectors can see it. Again, you can use AI. I see the yeses coming through. Collectors can buy multiple pieces at one time easily. And we also like to add the shipping fee to our art price, okay? So for example, to keep the math simple, if the piece is $1,000 and the shipping is $100, we list it at $1,100 so we don't have to follow up with the collector afterwards. All right, artists, and you'll ship your art directly to the collector. And then sales deposit in your account in 24 to 48 hours. So you get paid very fast. And then artwork gets a small 10% commission on every sale, okay? And so again, I know we got a lot of artists here who are just getting started. And so I love to show different price points, entry-level price points, emerging artists, and also affluent artists, okay? And so here, Jen, she sold Purpose for $1,024. I love the butterflies in her work. Tierra sold Bright Future, and Christina sold Veil of Night, man. I love the colors in that sky. And so type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first piece on artwork like Magdalena. She said, I'm very happy. I sold my first piece in artwork. Many thanks to my new collector. She sold Natural for $1,850. Type yes in the chat. And so now I've shown you how using the artwork app allows you to easily sell more art online and keep all of your prices, collector, and business info in one place. Type yes if you can see how this saves you time, money, and makes it simple. I see the yeses coming through. All right. Type yes if you see how this saves you time, money, and makes it simple to sell your art online. I see the yeses coming through. All right, artists, let's get into it. Man, let's get into this third secret. Now, listen, this is the $1 million secret. So if you haven't taken a note, please get your pen and your pad out because you want to take a note here, all right? So secret number 3, this is an artist's favorite. How to attract the collector spending millions on art with Sotheby's using Instagram and AI, all right? So after our first wave of affluent artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high-income collectors online with AI and online ads. And so I've seen artists struggling to make sales with their posts on social media and art groups, right? You posting online and in these groups and on these marketplaces, and people be liking and giving you all kind of comments, but likes does not equal money in the bank, all right? Drop a money bag emoji if you know likes don't equal money in the bank. And while I love friends and family sales, right? Tierra sold the Galactic Jellies for $2,000 to a friend. Mr. Emmanuel sold this portrait for $500 to a sister at his church. Sometimes friends and family sales run out, right? Sometimes it runs out, okay? And so sometimes, man, we need global exposure. Man, if you want to sell art to collectors outside of your neighborhood, outside of your city, outside of your state, and even in different parts of the country and the world, put global in the chat, all right? If you really want to start to expand your reach and open up your collector base, okay? Now, because of my experience buying ads on social media, I know there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors, and that was Instagram, all right? Everybody and their mama is on Instagram posting images and buying art, okay? And so we got brand new artists doing this stuff, man. Christy, she was new to selling her art online, and when she did this, she started getting results so fast. She said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece. it would have taken me a while to even get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. I spent only $7, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and sold my piece for $700. And it only took her a few hours to do it. All right. Now, regardless of your current price point, just put cents in the chat. CENTS, like dollars and cents. If it makes sense for you to spend $7 on ads and sell a piece for $700 or more, just type cents in the chat if that makes sense for you to do. All right. Because that makes sense for me. That's a good return on investment, or ROI for short. Okay. And so she got a $700 sale in only a few hours after advertising, and she made over $2,300 in her first 3 weeks. And she was brand new to doing this, okay? And so if she can do this, you can absolutely do this. I see the sense coming through, because always remember, success leaves clues, okay? And so this Forbes article said, with Sotheby's $363.2 million sale, the art market passed the first major test of pandemic. So we knew people was buying art online. Business Insider said, for now, the art world has gone digital. And for some, that's for you and I and the other affluent artists, that's a good thing. Artsy, which is an online art marketplace, said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales in April, okay? And interest from galleries increased by 60%. And so when we log into Facebook and Instagram Ads Manager, we can go to a place where you can start to search for the kind of audience that you want to advertise to, okay? And so I want to draw your attention to these two red boxes. So the top red box says location. So it says United States. So we have artists in different parts of the world. I'm in the United States. I'm in Atlanta. I want you to start advertising in whatever country that you're in, okay? You can advertise to any country that has Facebook and Instagram, but the shipping can get complicated when you start to sell your art overseas, okay? So start in your current country and you can expand at any time, all right? If you look at the bottom red box, it says Sotheby's, okay? So type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to target them collectors that's spending millions of dollars at Sotheby's. We saw Jen with the Sotheby's. Sotheby's still selling millions of dollars online after the pandemic was around. Let's type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to target them collectors that's spending millions at Sotheby's, okay? And so that makes sense to me. And so if it makes sense to you, we can click that green create ad button, and it's going to take us to a place called detailed targeting, all right? Everybody type the word financial in the chat. Type the word financial in the chat, okay? And so you see, when we go to the detailed targeting of Sotheby's, if we type in that word financial, we could target the collectors that make the top household income, all right? We could target the top 5% income earning collectors. We could target the top 10% income earning collectors. And we could target the top 10 to 50% income earning collectors, okay? When we put that financial layer on there, all right? Now, if you've never seen this information, if you didn't know that you could target the wealthiest collectors that's spending millions of dollars worth of art online, put the mind blown emoji in the chat. You can put wow in the chat. Just let me know how you feeling learning this wisdom in the chat right now, okay? I see the financial coming through, because this information will transform your life if you apply it, all right? You start putting your art in front of people that got money, it will change the game for you, okay? So I'm going to show you a couple more examples to really bring this home to show you the power of this, all right? And so in that bottom red box, you see it says Art Basel. We know Art Basel is one of the biggest art fairs in the world. Miami Art Basel, man, it is an incredible time. And think about the investment that it takes to go to Art Basel. You got to get a plane ticket, hotel ticket. You got to feed yourself when you get down there. You got to get tickets to all the different art shows, and especially the one at the Miami Convention Center, the main one, right? It's a lot of stuff that you got to do, and you got to buy the art, right? So it's a big investment. And so if we want to target them collectors that's spending all that money at Art Basel, all we got to go to the detailed targeting, type in the word financial, and it's going to show us how to access the top 5% of household income earners that's spending money at Art Basel, the top 10% of income earners, and the top 10 to 50% of income earners that's spending money at Art Basel. I see some wows coming through. All right, let me show you one more. We saw the Business Insider article where it said Artsy had a 92% increase in e-commerce sales. Type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to start targeting that 92% increase of collectors that's spending money online on art. All right, type yes in the chat. That makes sense to me. And so if that makes sense to you, we can go to the detailed targeting section, type in that word financial, and we can target the top 5% income earners that's spending money at Artsy, the top 10% of income earners, and the top 10 to 50% of income earners that's spending money at Artsy, all right? Type yes in the chat, man. If you are ready to rock and roll and you think you can do this, this is very simple. You can do this, okay? Because when we do this, artists, we have what I call the keys to success, all right? These collectors have two very important things that you need to sell your art. So first, they have the willingness to buy art. if you like Art Basel, if you like Artsy, if you like Sotheby's, I know you have the willingness to buy art, okay? But then we put that financial layer on, we're targeting collectors that have the ability to buy art, right? And now I know that you have money. And we get these two things, this type of access changes everything, okay? And I have affluent artists selling art worldwide using this. So Nisha Kapoor, she's Indian, and she was the first artist to sell art in Indian rupees, man. Shout out to Nisha. She said, Sherez, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and the person is willing to buy. All right, type yes in the chat if you want to do this for yourself. Miss Valerie, she's a senior. She used advertising to sell over $3,000 from her ads, okay? She's a senior and a grandmother. If she can do this, I know you can do this, okay? And then Christy, she spent $45 on ads, ran the ad a day and a half. Only thing I don't like is she turned it off too soon. You got to let that ad run when it's making money, okay? She said, I got over 800 likes, 200 comments, 100 shares, and 300 messages from collectors that want to buy art. Type yes in the chat if you like to get this kind of motion with your art sales. She said, I got 14 sales and about 10 possibles. A day and a half, $45 ad spends, $1,400 revenue. I hope everyone realizes we struck gold, okay? And then, man, one of my favorite stories, like my man Joe Wood, he said, and this happened last night, sold. Man, type sleep money in the chat if you want to wake up to your art being sold like my guy Joe. He sold his $2,000 piece from his ads while he was asleep, right? All of us, if you on Instagram and Facebook, you've seen an ad before. So imagine if we had your art ads going 24/7 and collectors were coming to you to buy your art, man. All right. We can get some sleep money like my man Joe right here, okay? And so now I've shown you how to find wealthy, ready to buy collectors using AI Instagram ads. As an affluent artist, can you see yourself using this secret to get high paying collectors? All right, type yes in the chat if you can see yourself using this secret. These artists were just getting started with this. They were no better than you, no further along. They didn't have a clue about selling their art online, all right? If they can do it, you can do it too, okay? And so far, you discover how to create your art story to raise your prices. You discover how artwork makes it easy to share your art via text, email, or social. You discover how to sell your art to a worldwide collector marketplace. You discover how to get collectors to buy your art with one click like they're buying on Amazon. And you discover how to use that financial layering to target those high-income collectors. I see the yeses coming through. And so knowing what you know now, type yes if you feel more confident pricing your art like Bresha Jones and using that art story to start to break your sales records. All right, type yes in the chat. Type yes if you're happy you attended this live class. We are live right now. All right, type yes in the chat if this was a good investment of your time, okay? And then type yes in the chat if you realize the advantage that you have as a visual artist using these techniques over other artists that don't have access to this wisdom. Type yes in the chat. And can you see yourself using this to sell more art? I see the yeses coming through. All right, type yes if you can see yourself using this. And ultimately, man, can you see yourself getting new collectors with this? Like Christy, it's easy. She was just getting started. She was blown away by this. Miss Valerie, she's a grandmother. She used this, okay? And so artists, you got two choices. So listen, you can do this on your own, and that is a worthy option to pursue, okay? I know we got some brilliant artists on here, but if you want to make sure that you get the exactly what you need, you get the handheld, and you get some accountability in the community, choice number two is you can have us responsible for your success to help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month, okay? And so let me know in the chat if this would transform your life. Like if you follow what I showed you in secret number one and you use any one of your art stories to sell your art so your art can sell itself on Instagram, type yes if that would transform your life. And then if you did what I revealed in secret number two, so you can use the artwork app to easily sell more of your art with one click. And then you use secret number three to get access to the same high-paying collectors on Instagram that the rich auction houses and galleries attract. Do you think you could be successful? Type yes in the chat. I see the yeses coming through. What if I helped you? Type yes if you would like me to help you. All right. I see some yeses coming through. All right. And so I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. It is a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise your prices and get 10 or more new collectors every single month online. Okay. And so part number one is the actual Affluent Artist Masterclass. And so step number one is mindset. That's where we get you to adopt a millionaire mindset. Step number two is price. That's where we teach you our luxury pricing method so you can raise your prices and charge your worth. Step number three is sold. This is where we show you our cash collector framework so you can start selling art to collectors for free. Step number four is collectors. This is where we show you how to build your own community of collectors that's going to buy from you for the duration of your art career. And then step number 5 is marketing. This is where we show you how to use that Facebook and Instagram ads and that financial layering so you can start targeting high-income collectors that buy art from Sotheby's, okay? And so I want to show you my guy, Christian, share his testimony about how his career changed when he became an affluent artist.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled, like, to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program and made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over $4,000. And it's super easy to follow. Like, if you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. And you also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me and the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian Lamar, man. He rocking and rolling, all right? Affluent artist, again, this works for you if you are a painter, sculptor, acrylic pours, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, AI art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all price points, all right? And then type yes in the chat, man, if you want to sell art like Miss Joy here did right here. She got this $4,000 sale all the way in Canada. Again, we got artists in different parts of the world, and we always tell the truth about making money. That's why I had an artist take a picture of that Canadian cash and put that on the table, all right? Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling art for 4K or more, okay? We always show the proof of making sales. And then again, artists, remember, this works even if your art isn't ready. And so if you haven't finished creating your piece, if you're still working on a piece, whatever the situation is, man, just like Jasmine, she posted this piece that she was still working on. She sold a pre-order print at 9 a.m. She said, gratitude, art store and organic conversation building relationships really work. So I taught you secret number 1, that's the art story. That absolutely will work. You apply that, you can start selling your art, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and that's a 5K value, all right? Part number 2 is the Artwork Gold account. I want you to imagine collectors buying your art from anywhere in the world on Artwork. And so Jen sold this piece of Mergers in Power for $2,700. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell art on Artwork like Jen. She said, I'm so happy and grateful to have sold this piece. I'm going to supersize my fries tonight. All right. Imagine your new life selling your art anywhere. All right. You could be anywhere in the world and selling your art online on Artwork. And also love when the collectors get their kids involved in collecting. Just like Miss Yvonne sold this beautiful piece, Spidey Senses, right here to this young collector, okay? And so when you get your Artwork account, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 shy of $1 million. You can easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You'll be able to track your art sales and your collector's information in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click like they're buying on Amazon, all right? And collectors can track their net worth in your art so they can see when your value increases as an artist, okay? And also, you'll be able to save a lot of money by getting rid of some tools. So if your website isn't selling, you can get rid of paying for the website fees. Using tools like Venmo, Cash App, and Zelle, we want to help you step your game up to sell your art like a professional, okay? If you're using tools like Artsy, Etsy, and Art Storefront, paying those fees and you're not getting any money, you can get rid of that. If you're using Shopify, Artwork Archive, Fine Art America, if you're paying for any of these subscriptions and you're not selling art, you can get rid of all of that, okay? And then the most important asset is getting back that lost time that you've been trying to figure this stuff out on your own, okay? And so again, as an artist, man, when I first started, I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or how to track how much my collectors spent. I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself, all right? And so this is going to save you time and money because over 6 years ago, I had to spend over $60,000 in 3 years figuring out how to create an app to solve this problem, all right? So I don't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an Artwork account with this package so you can skip the cost, trial, and the error. All right, cool. Let me know if that's cool. Type cool in the chat if that's cool. All right. And so again, artists are getting sales fast on Artwork. So Tierra sold Angels Among Strangers. She said, I'm still in shock at a bit at how quick the sale happened, but a great way to end the night. Okay. And then if you're not tech savvy, that's not a problem. We design artwork to be so simple and easy that a child can use it. Okay. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and you're going to get that Artwork Gold account. And that's a $6,200 value. Okay. And then part number 3 is the Affluent Artist community. All right. So we got artists in different parts of the world that are ready to serve you. And we got a real community. This is a picture of us where we actually met up and attended an art show together, man, and had a really good time. Okay. And so we got a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and that want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. This gives you the knowledge, community, encouragement, and the motivation you need to succeed in your art career. And so you can access the program and community anytime from anywhere in the world, and you get unlimited support. So you get 24/7 school group access. Plus we have a live weekly sales sessions call where you could talk to a real person to make sure you get all of your questions answered. Okay. And so another thing I really love about our community is we got artists in so many different skill levels. There are different levels of their business and revenue journey, but also ages. So Sanyu started when she was 9 years old. Her mother enrolled her in the program. And this is when I got to meet them in person. Okay. And then Miss Phyllis, she was 73 when she joined, and she made a sale in the first week. So we got young kid artists just getting started, and we got seniors, grandmothers, grandfathers that's in the community selling art as well. And so I want you to imagine being a part of an artist community that helps you 24/7, right? So we always sharing these powerful lessons like my guy Sean here. He said, lesson learned, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought maybe my price was too high for her and she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, that Artwork Gold account, and you become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and that's a $7,400 value, okay? And then Isha right here, man, she's using the program to sell art for over $10,000. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece, your first or next piece for over $10,000 like Isha did with this custom 5-panel commission. It is absolutely beautiful, man. Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling art for more than 10K, okay? When you start targeting them high-income collectors, this becomes simple and it becomes normal, okay? And so artists, if all this did was help your art tell stories so your artwork truly sold itself, how would that help your art career? I see the yeses coming through. All right, let me know in the chat. If all this did was help you easily sell your art online in any economy, how would that help your art career? And if all this did was help you get an infinite amount of high-paying collectors following you and buying your artwork, let me know in the chat how that would help your art career, okay? Now, with putting this program together, I had 2 choices. So first option, I could go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but that wouldn't really incentivize me to really stack the value, okay? So the second option, though, it required a little higher investment, but in exchange, we can devote more of your resources to guarantee your success. And so I want to know, what are your dreams worth to you? All right. If you were making money every day because you were successfully selling your art to collectors on Instagram, what would that be worth to you? Like, how much would you pay to have one automated collector system sell your art online 24/7? Let me know in the chat. And so you see why artists have paid $10,000 for similar results from me, because when you do business with us, it's not a cost, it is an investment, okay? And so you see why it's worth over 10K. Even at 5K for the general public, it's still a really good deal, all right? But because you are here live and you watch this masterclass and I want to help as many artists as possible, I'm going to give you a very, very special offer at an incredible no-brainer price, okay? So when you go to affluentartist.com, you don't have to invest anywhere near the $5,000 price, okay? Now, sometimes when we give a discount, we might do 30% off for like $3,500, but you won't have to invest anywhere near that either, okay? Today, we have a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com. And even better, if you want to finance it with our partners, Afterpay, Affirm, or Klarna, you can get started for only $47.96 today when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? A lot of artists use the financing. Man, you can get started for as little as $47.96 today when you go to affluentartist.com. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, okay? And I'm going to put that link in the chat for you so y'all can click that, okay? And so again, we have financing partnerships with Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. And so you can buy now and pay later. If you use Klarna, they have a 24 payment plan for only $47.96. It is a great, great plan. A lot of artists use that plan, but you can use Affirm and Afterpay as well when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up and enroll, okay? So you can get started today for a drop in the bucket. It's a great, great deal, all right? And so if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art, only for buyers to continue lowballing you or not respecting the true value of your art, when you sign up today, I also want to give you some powerful bonuses, all right? So bonus number one is that luxury pricing method. That's $1,000 value, all right? So Christy, she was a single mom, and she watched this class that you're on right now, and she ended up making $1,350 in the first 5 days after watching this same class that you're on right now. She said, holy smokes, I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art and landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking for $800, was hoping for $600, but I boldly asked $1,000 and she didn't hesitate, okay? You can get access to that luxury pricing method when you go to affluentartist.com. Jen, she used this to sell Breakthrough 2 for $5,840. Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling art for over $5,000 like Jen, okay? And then Brisha Jones, we showed you how she applied that art story to this piece, Fearless Expanded, and she was able to break her sales record. Said she was still speechless, all right? This was the highest and the biggest art piece that she had ever sold for over $6,200. Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling art for over $6,200. I see the yeses coming through. All right, so you get this when you get the luxury pricing method, okay? And so I want you to imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art store has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price. This is your new reality when you become an affluent artist, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get that luxury pricing method bonus, and that's an $8,400 value, okay? And then bonus number two, we have our automated collector system. And so this is a simple 3-part process that'll help you get collectors online 24/7, all right? And so we pre-build a web page template for you. So it's already done. If you don't have a website, don't worry about it. We give you one to send the collectors to. They're going to give you their name, their email, their phone number, and their address, and they're going to be ready to buy your art, all right? And so this is the system Christy used when she spent that $45 on ads. She got the 800 likes, 200 comments, 100 shares, and over 300 messages, 14 sales, and about 10 possibles in a day and a half. And I showed you Miss Anitra. She got over 37 new collectors in 72 hours. She was so excited. She's had to send me a message in the middle of the night talking about how fast the collectors were coming and booking calls to talk to her about buying her art, okay? You can get access to this automated collector system when you join at affluentartist.com. And so I know many artists suffer from feast or famine income where you sell art some months and some months you don't sell at all. We're going to solve that problem for you, okay? I've invested years of my own time and money testing which art ads and sales pages works the best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7 on autopilot using Instagram ads and AI. Because when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and your collector community while sales come in at the same time, okay? And so again, I was showing you how Miss Anitra, she's using this system. She just sent me this message this morning about how she already got 37 new collectors in 72 hours. Type yes in the chat if you want to set up the system and have a system to bring collectors to you on autopilot 24/7. Just type yes in the chat, okay? And so again, if you already have a website and it's not selling how you like, you can keep it if you want to, or you can get rid of it and you can save that money on it, okay? Because you can use hours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every day like clockwork. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get that Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get that luxury pricing method and the automated collector system bonuses, all right? And that's a total value of over $9,600 when you join at affluentartist.com, all right? And then bonus number 3, we got another powerful bonus for you. For the artists that get started tonight, you're going to be able to find your high-income collectors with me on Instagram, okay? And so I know many artists, they struggle to get the exposure to collectors that can afford their art at the prices that you think it's worth. And so I spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads, figuring out the best way to target buyers with money, okay? We showed you how to use that financial layering. And so you get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI. And so we showed you how to use that financial layering so you can target the top income earning collectors that's spending millions with brands like Sotheby's, okay? And so you're going to be able to get exposure to collectors with disposable cash. You'll be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style. and you can predictably get new collectors 24/7 with ads. All right. And so, Jen, when you start targeting collectors with money, stuff like this start happening. She said, I got another deposit of $4,369 commission deposit. She said, I just threw out a random number and they said, can they pay it in 3? When you start targeting collectors that got money, they start asking you questions like this, okay? And so Jasmine, man, before she quit her job, she needed to sell $5,000 a month. But she ended up going through this process and she sold $5,527 in the first week when she joined at affluentartist.com, okay? And so artists are using this to make sales every day. They go Dwayne, Sean, Miss Valerie selling art, Miss Phyllis selling art. And then also we have a mastermind called a $1 Million Artist Mastermind. And it's a $25,000 investment to come to Atlanta 4 times a year, do a live art event with some other artists that are making 6 figures or more in their art business, okay? Now, this is a $25K investment, but you can join for a fraction of this and work with us online when you join at affluentartist.com, okay? And also, man, when you get that one-on-one VIP experience like Jasmine did, I told you she had a goal to sell $5K for the month, but she ended up selling $5,500 in the week, okay? And so you can get access to this same program when you join at affluentartist.com. And so if you were to hire an online marketing professional to go back to art school or attempt to get a dealer to sell your work to collectors for you, it might cost you over $25,000 in tuition, 50% of your profits given it to a gallery or a dealer, or years of your life trying to figure this stuff out. But you can shortcut that, save all of that cash and that time by going to affluentartist.com and enrolling, okay? And even if you finance it with Klarna, that's only $1.60 per day to start selling your art online. All right, that's like a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's, okay? So Klarna is a great opportunity. A lot of artists use Klarna to finance it at affluentartist.com. And so artists, you got 2 choices, all right? Again, you can do this on your own. You can watch this recording. You can do this on your own, and that is a worthy option to pursue, man. You've gotten this far. You're listening. I know you're serious about investing into your art and your career, and so I know that you can do it, all right? But if you want to have our team responsible for your success to make sure you get 10 or more new collectors monthly, man, you can join us at affluentartist.com, okay? And we're also so confident in our ability to help you sell your art. We got 110% money back guarantee. So if you sign up now, if the Affluent Artist Program doesn't help you sell more art and get more collectors, you have 2 options. Option number 1, you can follow the steps, decide it's not for you for whatever reason, and win 110% of your money back, okay? Option number 2, you'll grow in the Affluent Artist community, and we'll personally help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month, okay? And so why do we do this? Listen, if we do it for a selfish reason, that's because I know it's a win-win. This makes it a no-brainer for you to join, and I know we can help you succeed. And so when you sign up, I know for a fact, one of these 2 things will happen. Either you're going to start getting 10 or more new collectors every month. Listen, Mr. Nitra got 37 in the first 72 hours, okay? Or you'll get $1,100 from us just for trying it out and giving it a go when you join at affluentartist.com, all right? Now, there are a few qualifications to get the money back guarantee. All right, you got to do some stuff, okay? You got to earn a 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You got to take action on the Affluent Artist Masterclass. We also want you to attend the live sales session every week so we can answer your questions and make sure you're not getting stuck. And most importantly, we want you to sell art with the system, all right? And then share your results on social media of the new collectors and sales that you're getting, okay? And so either way, when you become an affluent artist, your profit is guaranteed. Option number 1, you follow the steps, decide it's not for you, and you can win your money back. Option number 2, you say, Sharess, listen, I want to grow as an affluent artist, and I really want to get 10 or more new collectors every single month on autopilot with Facebook and Instagram ads and targeting those high-income connectors with that financial layering, okay? So join us at affluentartist.com. And so the real question you got to ask yourself, artist, is it really worth taking a few minutes to just check this out, all right? Absolutely, because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell 1 painting for $1,000, all right? And so I love to tell artists in our community, listen, you're just 1 collector away from really transforming your entire life. You get that 1 collector, you start raising your price, and they keep coming to you, man. Your life and your art career will never be the same, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You also be able to become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses as well. So bonus number 1 is that luxury pricing method. Bonus number 2 is that automated collector system. And bonus number 3, you're going to be able to find your collectors with me so we can target those high income collectors with that financial layer. All right. And that's a total value of over $10,600. But you can join for a fraction of that when you join at affluentartist.com. All right. And so, artists, if you are watching this now and you see this blank screen, this is an editing marker for me. All right. Because what I'm about to say next, we're going to cut this out of the replay. And this is only for you because you are here live. We want to reward you being here and showing up. All right. And so for the artists that buy before the end of this live class, we're going to give you a free lifetime artwork gold account. All right? It's going to be completely free. Normally, this is $99 a month, but for you, it is going to be free forever when you join at affluentartist.com. You'll be able to upload unlimited art. You'll be able to access collectors globally, just like those artists in Barbados. And many artists start selling art in the first 7 days, okay? And so, again, you're just one collector away. So for the artists that buy live, you're going to get a free lifetime artwork account because you showed up live and we want to give you that gift, okay? And so, artists, get started now, all right? So when you join at affluentartist.com, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get that luxury pricing method bonus. You get that automated collector system bonus, and you'll be able to find your high-income collectors with me. That's a total value of over $10,600, but you can join for a special 94% off of only $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com, all right? And again, we also have a partnership with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. And so you can get started with as little as $47.96 per month. We wanted to make this system affordable for as many artists as possible because we didn't want anybody to have a reason to not be able to start selling their art, okay? And so artists are using this to make sales every single day. Like my guy, Blue Robin right here. Diana say happy Friday when she getting paid. My guy, Dwayne, selling some more art right there. Santana, Mr. Bill. So listen, now at this point, I see some of you have signed up, and that makes me happy. Man, congratulations. Excited to have you all in the program. But some of you are still here, though. And I can tell you're getting ready to sign up, but you have a question that you need answered first before making that decision. So if you got a question, type your question in the chat. We would love to help you. Just type your question in the chat for me, okay? Now, I'm going to address some of the questions in the time that we have left, all right? And so some artists want to know, what if I already have a website? So if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all of your collectors to Artwork, and you can use our automated collector system so you can eliminate the hosting costs and the monthly fees, okay? Or if you want to keep your website, you can keep your website. It's up to you, all right? Do collectors need an Artwork account? So collectors can buy as a guest, but we encourage them to get an Artwork account so they can track their art collection inside the app, okay? Some artists want to know, how do I afford the investment? So look, one of the ways that many artists get the investment is they start pre-selling art like Jasmine did. And so we showed you how you can get pre-orders of your art before the piece is completed, just like Jasmine did with this art story. So if you use secret number one, how I broke down that art story framework, you can start posting this on social media, sharing it on text message, email, even over the phone. You can start sharing your story and you can start selling some art in advance, okay? But also you can use financing with our partners, Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? Some artists want to know, how do I make the time? And that's a great question because if you're anything like Brisha Jones, listen, she got a family. She's a single mom with a couple of kids, and she was trying to figure out how to make the time too. And so one of the things that we do is create what we call a morning success block, okay? And so a morning success block simply means you wake up an hour or two earlier than you normally do. Now, you got to have the discipline to get into bed, okay? But you start working on your art business first thing in the morning. And so when you do this, you actually start you give yourself like the freshest version of yourself to work on your dreams. And so if you contrast that with most people, like they get up, you take care of friends, family, get your kids ready for school, you start working, and then you will come home at the end of the day and try to work on your business. But then you're tired, you're hungry, you're ready to go to bed. And so you're not really giving the best of yourself to the dream that's going to help transform your life, okay? So make the time by using that morning success block. Man, it'll help wonders for your career, okay? And some artists want to know, can I do this from anywhere in the world? So yes, as long as you got Wi-Fi, you can use this system anywhere in the world and access the program in the community. So Miss Joy is all the way in Canada, and she used this to sell this $4,000 Happy Trails mural right here. And you love to see that Canadian cash on the table. That's proof right there, okay? Some artists want to know, what if I'm just getting started? And that's a great question. And I really think if you're just getting started, you have an advantage because you don't have any bad habits to unlearn, okay? And so Tierra, she proved this with one of my favorite stories. After she became an affluent artist and started selling her art, she actually inspired her children to get into art as well. And so her boys, they were 2, 5, and 7 years old when she showed them our process to start selling their art. And so she told them how to make profit, how to set goals, how to buy their supplies. And they had a goal to sell $250, but with the help of their family and friends, they made over $500 at their first time doing this, okay? And so if they can do it, man, a 2-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old, I know that you can sell art when you become a member of the Affluent Artist at affluentartist.com, okay? Some artists want to know, is the process too hard or technical? Absolutely not. So Miss Valerie, she was 68 when she joined. She sold over 10K in the first 4 months, all right? And so if a grandmother can do it, you can absolutely do it. It's a very simple and easy process, okay? And so artists, make sure that you understand that we got to either get resources or be resourceful to get the investment that we need to join the program. And so Miss Stacy, she was having a financial issue at first, but she's decided to be resourceful and get what she needed to start selling her art. And she was happy that she did. She said, yes, it works. Made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they're done. I called her and told her they're finished, and she bought all 3, okay? Some artists want to know, is there too much competition, all right? So absolutely not. Man, I'm an artist and I'm a collector, and as I look around the house, I have art from so many different artists and different styles, okay? And so if you know real art collectors, man, they love buying art. So there's more than enough abundance for all of us to win, okay? Some artists want to know, what is the artwork commission? And it's only 10%, and you keep the collector's data, okay? And so we know sometimes doing business with galleries and dealers, sometimes they'll take 30 to 50% of your commission, and they often don't give you the collector's data because they don't want you to have a direct relationship with them, okay? But we actually want you to create lifelong relationships with your collectors so they can keep buying from you. See, I got a question. Said, I'm already in 3 museums, but I'm trying to actually move out of the art world to total independence. My price point is already at 25K, but people don't want me to leave. So can you help? Yes, I can absolutely help you if you want to start selling your art online and get your own collectors. Yes. All right. You can have complete and total independence and freedom, Miss Renee. Okay. Some artists want to know, what budget do I need for ads? All right. So you can get started with as little as $5 a day as well. Okay. All right. Now we want to, if you want to get a lot of collectors quickly, you want to spend more on ads, but it's really inexpensive to get started. Okay. And so artists, we know, man, being a full-time artist beats working a 9 to 5. All right. When you start getting commissions and sales from collectors and you get to doing custom pieces for their kids, man, it's a beautiful experience. All right. Just like Mia did right here. So you get access to that when you go to affluentartist.com. And the artists tell me that it's the community support that really creates the success habits. When you're surrounded by a community of winners that are selling art, that are raising their prices, and you are inspired by the action and the results that they're getting, man, it makes you want to continue working, want to you selling your art, and just seizing all of the opportunities that we have. All right. And so you can join our community when you go to affluentartist.com. Okay. And so I know if you've been searching for information on how to sell your art online for any amount of time now, you know the information alone is not enough. Okay. And so Toya, man, if you've been looking on Instagram, if you've been looking on YouTube, if you've been looking on Google, and you know it just hasn't been what you need, listen, join our community at affluentartist.com so you can get booked and busy like Miss Toya, okay? So join at affluentartist.com, and we're excited to serve you. And so again, you got to ask yourself, artists, do you want money or do you want excuses? So my guy John Tay decided that he wanted money, and he started selling pieces for 2K or more to these collectors right here. And you can get access to the same system at affluentartist.com. All right. Now, if you got a question, make sure you ask your question in the chat. Great question, Miss Renee. Now, as we close out here, I want to talk about the true cost of inaction, okay? Because you got to ask yourself, what does this help you start selling just 1 piece per week? Would that be worth $1.60 per day, right? Absolutely it would. But the bigger thing you got to calculate is the true cost of inaction. Because is it really worth missing months of art sales because you're trying to save $1.60 per day? If you finance this with Klarna, it's literally $1.60 per day, okay? And if you don't get started this month or next month or the month after that, you're going to be rolling into the summer and the fall missing sales. Those are months where you could have been making money if you had a system that brought you collectors and gave you that independence that you're looking for, okay? And so if you follow just one of the steps I shared on today's event, you can make a profit in the first week when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And again, also, we like to get our family and friends to invest in us as well if you need that. Just like Miss Valerie and Miss Kelly right here, she made a sale in her first week in the program, and you can get access to this same system when you go to affluentartist.com, okay? Also, we have another financing option with PayPal. PayPal can invest into you with PayPal credit. They have no payments and no interest if paid in full in 6 months. And so you can go to paypal.com/credit to apply, and then you can come back to affluentartist.com, choose PayPal, and use that credit line, all right? And so you can start selling your art in advance, and then you can pay PayPal back and tell them thank you for the investment, all right? And again, we also have buy now, pay later partnerships with Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. And so if you use Klarna, like a lot of artists do, they have a 24 payments of only $47.96. So you can finance this at affluentartist.com and get started for less than $48 per month, all right? It's an excellent, excellent option. A lot of artists use this to get in and start selling art so they can pay this, okay? And so artists, the time is now. Man, I am excited for the artists that joined. Congratulations. Man, if you're ready to get some wisdom and start selling your art like Raquel, she said, after connecting with Sherez and actively implementing the wisdom that I learned without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece at my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround, all right? And so if you're ready for knowledge and speed of sales and a quick turnaround in a system that brings collectors to you, go to affluentartist.com so we can accomplish your dreams together, all right? And so I know as a fellow artist, man, some artists, they've been struggling to sell their art, or you in business relationships, they're just not really what you want, all right? And so when that's gone from your life, just how will you feel? Like, how much better will your life be, right? Some artists are still working jobs, man, and they don't like it, right? Think about that stress that maybe never having enough money or not selling the amount of art that you want to sell all the time just causes in your mind and your body. Because after that's gone, after you join, it is gone, all right? And I just want you to imagine the difference, okay? And it starts by going to the affluentartist.com link below and joining right now, all right? So I'm going to pop out and walk you through the checkout process. She said this was great and so inspiring. Man, you are so welcome, Renee. Excited to have you in the program and give you the independence that you're looking for. So go ahead and get started now, artists. Go to affluentartist.com. And so let me walk you out to show you exactly how to sign. Yes, Sherez, I'm in. And this offer expires in a little bit over 72 hours, okay? And you see a quick recap of the offer. We're going to cover our 110% money back guarantee. And all you got to do is put in your name, your email, your phone number, your address, and choose your plan, all right? And also, if you want to talk to our team, feel free to add that one-to-one fast start sales success call to your order, okay? And if you are using PayPal, you can choose PayPal. If you want to use your card, input your 16-digit card number here. You can put your expiration, month and a year, the CVC code, choose your country, and choose your zip code, okay? If you want to use Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay, just click one of those. And on Klarna, you can see the payment terms that they have. They got some really affordable payment plans starting as low as $47.96 per month for you to join. But after you join, click join now, and we'll see you on the inside of the program, okay? Please check your email for your receipt and your welcome email to access the system, the community, and artwork. And man, we'll be excited to serve you and have you inside of the program, okay? And so we still got several artists on. If you got a question, type your question in the chat so I can help you, all right? Let's talk. But get started now. When you go to affluentartist.com, you get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, that artwork gold account. You're going to get access, become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get that luxury pricing method bonus, the automated collector system to bring collectors to you 24/7 from Instagram. And when you also, when you join today, you're going to be able to find your collectors with me, all right? That's a total value of over $10,600. We've got a special 94% off discount for only $9.99 when you join at affluentartist.com, all right? We also have financing partnerships with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. So you can get started for only $47.96 per month with Klarna's 24-month payment plan, all right? So join at affluentartist.com. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. Again, we're excited to serve you. Join at affluentartist.com. If you need help, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, and our team will call you and help you get started over the phone. All right. And so we still got a bunch of artists here. Ask your questions in the chat. We're excited, man. Of course, you could come to ATL. You could absolutely come to ATL and speak with me in person. Man, I actually love to meet the artists in our community in person. I meet many of you all, and we become friends, right? Just like Jen, Jasmine, Demetria, Miss Jovan, Miss Valerie, so many artists that I met in person. After they become members, they start selling art, and we have a real community of artists, right? It's just not on the internet. We hang out with friends, we break bread together, we put on art shows, we go to art shows, we do a lot of really cool things together in our community. So yeah, I would love to meet you in person. So I'm expecting to see you inside, Miss Renee. Join at affluentartist.com. Excited to have you in the community. All right. Great question. Got more questions? Drop your questions in the chat. All right. And let me know what you need to get started. I'm here for you. This is your time. All right. Man, I was so excited for Miss Anitra when she sent me that text last night and this morning, and just how fast she started getting collectors, because she finally got the system up and she got her ads on a few days ago, and they start flying through, man. When you start getting them collectors, just because it's the power of advertising and showing your art to people's phones, their tablets, and their computers 24/7, just by leveraging the power of Instagram ads and AI. And when you set that system up, man, they just start coming, right? People see your ads any time of the day, and they start giving you their name, email, phone number, and their address so you can connect with them about buying your art. And the cool thing about it, it doesn't really matter what your style is, because we give these social media tools so much information on us that they actually know what people like, right? You clicking on stuff, reading stuff, watching videos, you showing interest and slowing down on different images and things that you like. They tracking all of those movements and clicks. And so they know exactly what pocket of collectors to show your art to. Man, there's some really powerful stuff that we're using to target the ideal collector for you, okay? And then I know, Miss Renee, you said you are already in museums and you're trying to move out of that world to get independence. So like if you already have a list of collectors, or if you got any kind of database of people who've been buying your work for $25,000 or more, we can load that list up to Facebook and Instagram, and it can start to go find more collectors that'll buy artwork for $25,000 or more. Man, that's some powerful things that you can do with this technology when you join and become an affluent artist, okay? All right. She said, thanks, I needed this. Man, we're excited to have you in the community. All right. I'm excited to meet you and talk to you and see your art too. Love to have you a part of our affluent artist community and team, all right? It's a family, man. If you got a question, we still got a lot of artists here. Y'all talk to me. You got a question? Type your question in the chat. I'm here for as long as y'all got questions. All right. Type your question in the chat. You got a question about signing up? If you need help, let us know. Type your question in the chat. I'm here. I can see the chat right here on the side. All right. Yeah, man. So if you're still here, tell me, what was the number one takeaway from today's live class? Just type it in the chat. What was your number one takeaway from today's live class? There was one thing, or you can list two things, but if it's one thing that really jumped out at you and that you're going to apply to start selling art, let me know in the chat. I would love to hear that. All right. Let me know your top thing in the chat. Talk to me. If you got a question, let's talk. And then also, where are you selling your art right now? All right. Where are you selling art? If you're selling your art, let me know where. If you haven't sold art, what have you done to sell your art? What do you need help with? All right. I've been in business over 20 years. You got a question? It's a great time to get some help. All right. It's the benefit of staying on to the end. You can get your specific questions answered to help you start selling art. All right. All right. And if I don't see any questions now, I'm gonna get up out of here. So I'm gonna do another recap of the offer. So again, artists, congrats to the artists that's joining, that's in the process of joining, the artists that are already enrolled. So get started now. Sign up at affluentartist.com. Ms. Renee said, I have to come out of my comfort zone and utilize technology to grow. So that's good, man. I'm glad that you're thinking like that, because we'll hold your hand every step of the way. All right. Our automated collector system, all of the templates are already pre-built. All you got to do, put in your pictures, your videos, your words, and then we have a live sales sessions call every week where you could talk to a real person. I'm there. My team is there. The other affluent artists in the community are there. And we're literally helping each other sell our art every week, okay? And so if there was anything that you needed some extra help with technology, we got you, all right? We got you. I also got a team of developers. We got designers. We use AI for a lot of stuff. And we got a lot of artists that's selling art. And so, man, it's just a community of artists that's helping each other win and sell our art online and really using technology. So we can own all of our art. We can own the collector list, and we can be independent, right? And so, you know, the way I look at it, if you want to do business with a gallery, dealer, a museum, that's cool. But make that like an add-on, okay? Or just something that you want to do because you want to do it, not that you're dependent on it, okay? But you got to wait for them to give you access to collectors, or you got to wait for them to do a show, or you need them to sell your art, right? We want to own the asset, which is the relationship with the collector, and the sales channel to get the collectors to come buy directly from us, okay? And so we help you do that when you enroll at affluentartist.com, all right? So artists, get started now. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses when you start today, all right? You get that luxury pricing method. You get that automated collector system, bring collectors to you 24/7 from Instagram, and you'll be able to find your high-income collectors with me, and we'll show you how to access those collectors that's spending millions at brands like Sotheby's, Art Basel, and Artsy, okay? And so that's a total value of over $10,600. When you join today at affluentartist.com, you can get a special 94% off for only $9.99, all right? Also, if you need financing, we have partnerships with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna, and you can get started for as low as $47.96 per month when you enroll at affluentartist.com, all right? If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, all right? And again, artists that join before this live is done, remember, we're going to give you a very, very special gift with your Artwork Gold account, all right? So join at affluentartist.com. If we got any more questions, type your questions in the chat. If I don't see any more questions, I'm going to get up out of here, all right? Shout out to Miss Renee, Mr. Jason, all the other artists that came, Miss Valencia, a bunch of artists that I saw, all right? Shout out to y'all. If you got a question, type your question in the chat. I'm going to do one more recap, and if I don't see any questions, we're going to get up out of here. But excited to have you on the inside, Miss Renee. Man, let's start selling your art so you can get that independence that you want. Go direct to the collectors and really control and own your system to sell your art, all right, for $25K or more online. Yeah, and if you got, you know, these type of results and results and connections, and if you got that data and access to those collectors' information, well, we can do some really powerful things with technology to put you in front of more collectors that spend at those price points on art, man. So you got some really cool opportunities. That's for any artist. If you've already been selling art, if you got your own email list of collectors, again, we can load that list up to Facebook and Instagram and create what's called a lookalike audience. And so Facebook will use their AI algorithm to start finding collectors that fit the same profile of your current collectors, okay? Man, there's some powerful stuff we can do with technology. This free class that I'm giving, it just really scratches the tip of the iceberg of what we can do to help you sell your art and access a global marketplace of collectors, okay? And so again, artists, get started now. I'm gonna do one last recap. I don't see any other questions, and we're gonna get up out of here, okay? So again, when you join today, you're gonna get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You're gonna be able to become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you get some fast action bonuses for artists that sign up today, all right? You're gonna get that luxury pricing method to help you raise your price and continue to raise your price and charging what you're worth, you're going to get that automated collector system that helps you get new collectors every single day from Instagram ads. I showed you how Miss Anitra was able to get over 37 interested collector leads in less than 72 hours. And then also you'll be able to hop on and find your collectors with me, so we can show you how to use Facebook and Instagram ads and use that financial layering to target those high income collectors. Okay. And so that's a total value of over $10,600. But you can join today for a special 94% off of only $9.99 when you join and become a member at affluentartist.com. All right. And again, we have a financing relationship with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. So you can get started for as little as $47.96 per month. We wanted to make it really affordable and accessible for all artists, so you didn't have any excuse as to why you couldn't join the program and start selling your art online and getting 10 or more new collectors every single month. All right. So I don't see any more questions, man. We're going to get up out of here. Peace and much love to everybody. Welcome everybody that joined. Make sure you check your email for your receipt and also for your welcome email. If you don't see it, check your spam folder. You can send a message to our team at 470-777-7549 to make sure that we get you access inside the community. And we looking forward to seeing your sales on the inside. All right. So again, my name is Sharess. Man, I enjoy doing this live. Peace and much love to everybody that's signing up. And if you got a question, let us know. But we'll see you on the inside.